Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, oh, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, oh, but now I am found. Was blind, but now I see.
Welcome to Built on Faith Homestead, and this is our tiny house talk for Monday. Yes. Mondays have become our tiny house talks, and it's kind of accidentally been some of our favorite videos to do, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We originally started out just talking about the particulars of a tiny house, and we've kind of talked about mindsets and all kinds of stuff, right?
Yep.
But today we want to focus on gifts, right? Yeah. So gifts are a part of life, right? We just had Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, birthdays, those kinds of things, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, in a tiny house, you have to kind of only keep what you need, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of room for extra stuff, right? No. Right. So this does pertain. For somebody that talks for a living, you think I'd be better at it, huh? It does pertain to a tiny house, because close up of Leah Joe, because you have to keep stuff down to kind of only what you need, right? However, we have, for the last several years, tried to change slowly, kind of, the way we even get gifts for other people, haven't we? Yeah. So like this Mother's Day, what you're going to see in this video is you're going to see that we barbecued for our mamas. Melissa made a delicious pie. Yeah, and then they made some flour sack towels and decorated them.
We did. As part of our homeschool stuff, we did a fun little craft for them.
Yes, two birds with one stone, right?
Yes.
Homeschooling.
I may have had them make one for me too.
Yeah, possibly. A gift for myself, huh? Yeah, a gift for myself. Alright guys, so we started changing the way we gifted whenever we were living in what I call our big house, which wasn't a big house, but bigger than the one we're living in now for sure, right? And the way we gift our kids, the way we gift our family, we started really focusing on stuff that you need, stuff that you could use, stuff like fishing equipment, hunting equipment, that'll help you gather your own food, books, like wild edible type books. I do want to caution you on those though. Make sure you get one that is focused on your area, right? Mm-hmm. So like wild edibles of Florida won't do you no good here in Missouri.
Yeah.
Right? We got our moms the barbecue. We did the barbecue for our moms, something they could eat. Then we made the flour sack towels. Now they'll probably use those as decoration, but if they ever had to use them, they could.
Yeah.
The paint you used on them.
I used like machine washable like fabric paint and fabric marker on them to write Happy Mother's Day, and you'll see what I'm talking about later, but
yeah, so it's actually something they could use if they needed to.
Oh yeah.
And we have even talked about like for Christmas maybe putting just together like a little survival kit with nothing crazy right in it, but just a few things to ever help somebody if help our family out if it ever really hit the fan, if you know what I mean. And I know that a lot of our family probably look at us like we're crazy, right? And we would hope that they never need it, but just in case, right? They ever did. Even something they could put in their car or something would be good, right? It's like, what if you got stranded or what have you, right? But really focusing on changing the way you like. So when we were, and what spurred us was when we were going through like the kids' toys. Like, how many baby dolls does a kid really need?
Yeah, like I'm sure, I think there was well over 10. Just like baby dolls. Not Barbies, but just baby dolls.
Just baby dolls.
And they had like repeat toys of the same thing.
And toys they never played with, right?
Yeah.
We had toys that were still in boxes that were brand new that the kids just never played with. And I'm not anti-toy. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not anti-baby doll either, right? If kids,
No.
all right, if you want to get your kids baby dolls and stuff, that's fine. But just think about how many do they actually need, right? You know, I remember my grandpa tells a story about his favorite Christmas gift, and his favorite Christmas gift he ever got when he was a kid was a banana. He said we were all so excited because we got bananas, right? Could you imagine today getting your children fruit for Christmas? They probably wouldn't be all that excited, would they?
Nope.
No. So what's changed?
Well, maybe ours.
Our kids might get excited.
They like fruit a lot, and Leah loves bananas.
That is true. She probably would be excited. But what has changed, right? Is gratitude. Gratitude. And I know
Perspective.
And perspective, yes. I know we live in the United States and we're spoiled here, right? And the evidence of that being spoiled is even in this video. The fact that we're talking about like, hey, change the way you give gifts, right? It shouldn't even have to be that way, but it is. And if you can think about the way that we live and the way that you might want to live in like a homesteading, tiny house or something like that lifestyle, you're going to have to learn to focus on things you need and change the way that you really think, right?
Yeah.
And so, whenever you consider those kinds of things, we may give away like sourdough starter. We may give away things like summer sausage or homemade cheese, right? We may give away things like coffee pots that don't require a plug-in, just a heat source, right? We may do gifts like, what else? What else kind of gifts? Usable, eatable, shelter type
You already
gifts.
said cast iron.
Cast irons, yeah. Melissa got a Dutch oven for Mother's Day.
I did. I
Yeah,
love it.
and she was excited about it. She wasn't mad that I got her something to cook with.
No.
And we already made sourdough bread in it, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
Yes. You can do all kinds of things to help people out. Another thing I want to say is a lot of these gifts can be dual purpose, right? So I'm gonna tell myself here. When COVID first went crazy, and the whole world was going nuts. I'd like to say COVID went crazy. Our reaction went crazy. I took some of the stimulus money the government was handing out that I know we'll all have to pay back in the long run. And I told my wife, I said, we need to buy a tent. And we bought a canvas style bell tent that's got the ability to put a wood stove in it, right? And part of the reason why we did that is we wanted to do more camping anyway as a family. So I grew up camping. Melissa did some camping growing up. And we enjoy it. And we want our kids to be able to go camping and enjoy that, right? So it solved that purpose. But then it also, once again, we're not shying away from our religious beliefs on this channel, right? And I believe there'll come a time where the Antichrist will try to rule the world. And unless you take a mark, whatever that mark may be, microchip, tattoo type thing, whatever that may be, I believe you won't be able to buy or sell without that, right? And that includes paying your taxes. And all of the food preparedness, and so let's say you have 100 acres and you have it paid off, and you have a house and you have it paid off, and vehicles and tractors and everything's paid off, and you're canning food and you're doing all of that, right? Those are all great things. But when that time comes, if you can't pay your taxes, they're going to come get your land, right? Yeah. And so I said, let's buy a tent, and then if we need it, we've got it. And I told her then, I said, I hope in 50 years we're laying in bed one night, and I said, I hope you look at me and you say, and you're laughing and you say, remember that time you thought that maybe the Antichrist was going to come pretty quick and you went and bought a tent? I said, I hope that happens, right? But I would rather that happen than us sitting out in the woods with our kids and it raining and me looking at my wife and kids going, boy, I sure do wish I would have bought a tent or something.
Yeah.
Right? So dual purpose things, hatchets. It's handy to have a hatchet around, especially if you're gonna have wood or a barbecue grill that you use wood in. So buy you a hatchet, right? And then if you really need it, whenever anything really goes down, then you've got a hatchet. Maybe a couple of hand saws would be good, right? And maybe you get those kinds of gifts for your family as well. And maybe and probably they won't really appreciate them to begin with, right? But maybe if they ever need them, they'll really appreciate that more than a Barbie, right? More than a knick-knack on the wall. My wife likes flowers, right? And I do get her flowers from time to time. I really like to pick wildflowers for her. But those flowers only last a little while, right? I still get them for her. But whenever we're really talking about gifts, that's not something I really think about. It's usually kind of a special deal when I'm out and about doing something. I see some wildflowers and I pick them for her. Cast irons, right? Coffee pots. Cooking things, right? This was a gift given to us by some good friends of ours. This gift has continued to give to our family. It has continued to bless our family. We have been able to make all kinds of delicious dinners, and we have other things that we want to make on here as well. Other things we want to smoke and try on the smoker. And so this is a good example of a gift that keeps on helping you and giving back to you, right? All that kind of stuff. To be kind of thinking that direction. We have had family get us canners for Christmas and water bath canners for Christmas and mixing bowls and those kinds of things. If you think about living life, what does it take to live life? Food, water, and shelter, right? And you kind of base your gifts off of that. That's kind of what we have tried to do. Yeah. Even the church. You want to tell them what the church got our girls for Christmas?
Yeah. It was like, was it for Christmas?
I'm pretty sure it's Christmas.
Yeah, it was for Christmas. And the church, they weren't sure what to get us. We were moving into the tiny house and all that. And we said, like, a gift certificate from our local, what's it called? Hatchery.
Cackle Hatchery.
Cackle Hatchery. And it was a gift card to there to get baby chickens and stuff. And they loved it. They went nuts over it. They were super excited.
So Luella about once a week wants to go through the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To look at what chickens she wants to get.
Right.
So, yeah.
And that will help in a lot of ways, right? So it helps teach the kids responsibility by going and feeding chickens and taking care of them. They'll get super excited about the baby chicks.
Yeah.
They'll lay eggs, which they'll eat almost every morning, right? And then if we have meat birds, right, they'll help us with providing some meat as well.
Yeah.
So that gift from the church for Cackle Hatchery baby chickens is an excellent gift.
And a lot of people look at that and they say, that's weird. You know, like that's silly. Like, why would you get, you know, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old a gift card to Cackle Hatchery? But they loved it.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yes, yes.
Perspective.
And like the girls, man, if the weather's bad like it has been and they're not able to go check out on their chickens, we haven't got their baby chicks yet. I got to build a brooder. But the chickens we do have, if they can't go check on them, boy, they're agitated, right? And especially Leah loves the chickens. She's crazy. Luella's more of a rabbit girl. She likes the rabbits, right? But the chickens. Luella one time got a bunch of birthday money, and we asked her, so what do you want to do with your birthday money? And she said, I want to buy me and Sissy some chickens. Right? And so I was like, well, I can't take that. I go find you some chickens, right? And so we got her some chickens. And even in that, right, if you do get cash or you get checks or whatever, if somebody gives you those kinds of things, instead of spending it on something that's not going to help you, maybe you spend it on things like building a rabbit hutch, right? Or buying rabbits or chickens, or save up some of that, you know, birthday money and Christmas money or whatever, and maybe get you a milk goat or a milk cow or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Gifts and then using, you know, cash and all that stuff wisely. We've had family members get us gift cards for like Lowe's and that kind of stuff because they know, right? Like that's what we're doing. And really it helps us more so than some of that other stuff, right? And so I think we have crossed a threshold in our lives. I know Melissa and I for sure have, but I think just the world where we need to consider. I'm not saying, once again, don't ever buy something that's just pretty that, you know, somebody's going to like. I'm not saying that at all.
No.
But what I am saying is, generally, a rule of thumb, when you're thinking about gifts, maybe we all should rethink it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can help you get food? My mom got us some heirloom seeds one year and a seed catalog, and we were ecstatic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were super excited about some heirloom seeds and a seed catalog, right? Yeah, super excited. And so, just rethinking it a little bit. So, guys, that is just some of how we think that it would be a good idea to rethink the way you do gifts, right?
Yes.
Mindset, once again, all about mindset. And I'm sure you guys come up with all kinds of better ideas than even anything we have talked about here. But hopefully this video at least gets your mind to thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimate gift, maybe to give somebody, is to share the gospel, obviously, with them, right? Give them a Bible, those kinds of things. But also, just rethinking the way you do things. There's nothing wrong with having pretty stuff. I'm not against that, right? If you want to work hard and go get you the prettiest, fanciest, this, that, or the other, go for it, man. I don't have any issues with that. You do your thing. You do what it is that you need to do in the Lord, and you go do that, right? However, just generally speaking, I hope this video helps you rethink a little bit on how you do gifts with your friends and your family and yourself and all those good things. Thank you guys for watching. Please give us a like. Please give us a subscribe. If these type of videos and these kinds of things are things that you're interested in, check us out on Leaving Egypt Bible Study page, and also, or Leaving Egypt Bible Study channel on YouTube, and then Leaving Egypt on Rumble as well. If we ever check out on YouTube, go over to Rumble and see if we're making videos, because YouTube may have kicked us off, right? But we'll just keep plugging along here. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys.
And we will catch you next time.